Hello again, wrestling fans. And have it in the night, the moon's up, and it's time for another episode of the
War games.
What?
Never mind.
What?
I said war
What?
games.
War Games! For another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third. And now introducing from the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states and the globe. It's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going?
Not too much, Geeky. Have a nice, happy War Games night right here on Dudes at Ringside podcast. And the final guest of the night, let's give a war Dudes at Ringside welcome to Elle Valentine.
What's up? How are you?
What's up?
Welcome.
How's it going?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So happy War Games night.
Happy War Games. Yeah, thanks for talking to me instead of watching War Games tonight.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry to say this, but talking to independent wrestlers is more important than actually watching war games in WWE. You guys need the support more than they
That's
do.
what I tell Geek all the time. I said that's why we focus on the independent wrestling scene over like anybody in the bigger guys like Al Snow and them. They come and go, but you guys. You never know how long you guys could last in the scene because some one injury happens and they're gone. You know what I mean? Like poof, there goes the sun. Your star is going and then you're gone. You know what I mean?
Gotta hold it down in the meantime.
Yeah. So who trained you?
I'm trained by Bo Douglas, who runs the Belltime Club out in Wakefield, Massachusetts. He was a student of Killer Kowalski, so I'm
Wow.
I'm continuing that
Kowalski
lineage. Yeah.
Who else was trained by Kowalski?
Triple H.
Didn't we have someone else?
Yeah, but I think we had somebody else that trained by Killer Kowalski. I forgot who.
Yeah.
Must have been another Boston wrestler.
Uh-huh.
When Geek figures it out, he'll message you the name of the
Yeah. But we did have somebody from Killer Kowalski's school on our podcast. Though.
Yeah. I forgot who it was.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna go 2 weeks later, message you. Hey, I remember. Be like, who are you? Geek.
What was your first match like in front of a crowd?
My first match was in a crappy little dive bar in Jamaica Plain. This was before our little league promotion started doing ring shows. So we, before that, we were doing strictly a gymnastics mat on a venue floor and kind of just doing suplexes on that. So our backs are a little messed up from that. And thank God we finally started doing ring shows. But it was, I don't remember, the last time I had as much fun as I did before that before that match. Yeah, it was on top of the stage at a bar. I was wrestling in Doc Martens, but the energy was so electric. It was like there was a bunch of punk bands playing before us, before the wrestling, and then we finally got to the wrestling, and I opened the show on the wrestling side, and I was wrestling a character named Mom, and her character is
her.
Yeah.
We spoke to Mom. I think we're trying to get her for next year. I think that's the one I spoke to.
Yeah, Mom did move out to New York, so yeah, that makes sense.
You just speak to her, tell her you just were on Dudes at Ringside, so she can get a better, feel more comfortable.
Yeah, so Mom was actually my first match, and it was just so much fun. Mom went over, obviously, so and just coming off the stage, my makeup was so messed up. I spent like hours trying to get my look quite right for my first big match, right? But it was just all rubbed off. I was exhausted, but I was like, I need to do this over and over again. Like, there's no other feeling like this.
What would you say your first opponent was?
Mom?
Yeah.
Oh, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the angle was that I was bullying another member of our roster, Gretchen Gutwrench, and Gretchen Gutwrench is a very bookish type of character, and he is mom's child, so we are all mom's children. So mom didn't take too lightly to that.
Yeah. So, do you have any like wrestlers that got like who would you say legitimately like what wrestler would got you into the business?
So I grew up around the time of like, Attitude Era was picking up, and that was the only wrestling I saw on TV at the time, like was the WWF. So the first wrestler I saw on TV that I was like, wow, this is awesome, was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then, around the time China was also picking up, and I was like, whoa, there's like a really badass like woman wrestler too, and I could also be a badass like woman wrestler. Like that really resonated with me, and just seeing China as a kid, even seeing Luna Vachon, because Luna Vachon was hanging out, and like they weren't like these, stereotypically like model type, like bikini model type characters. They had muscles, and they were a little alternative. I was like, I don't have to be pretty. I could just be badass and like get my story through that way.
So, what types of places would you love to travel to that you haven't already?
So I've never left the East Coast, to be honest.
Mm.
I would love to just start traveling out west. I know there's a lot of wrestling down in Florida, though, so it'd be really cool to, just travel more south. Internationally, I feel like I tell this to my wife all the time. I feel like I can never call myself, I won't be content in my career unless until I've had a match in Japan. So, like, my end goal is to wrestle in Japan.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the goal for a lot of wrestlers, because a lot of wrestlers, they all want to wrestle in Japan, because I guess Japan is
Mhm.
the king of all wrestling, I guess.
Yeah. Because they have Shine there. They have a few
Yeah.
other ones. New
Uh,
Japan. There's other ones that like
Japan,
Noah,
Stardom.
yeah, Stardom. I think
Noah.
wrong. It's not
Mhm.
Stardom. Yeah.
Yeah, Shine's out here in America, Joe. I'm
Mhm.
I'm
sorry.
thinking of the wrong name. I thought it was Shine. I don't know why I
It,
thought it was
There's
Shine.
it's
Shine,
Stardom.
there's
It's
Shimmer.
Stardom.
Yeah, there's a few of them with all the
It's
same shine, shimmer, glimmer.
no,
Like they
no,
had
but
the same.
Stardom's the one that's in Japan. You
Yeah.
have Pro Wrestling Noah, which you
Mhm.
have Joshi Pro is another one, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
so many. All Japan is another one.
All Japan, Big Japan.
There's
Yeah.
so many different groups out there. It's just like
Mhm.
so. What legitimate like wrestling style would you say you are?
Wrestling style. I do I feel like my offense is very suplex based. So I do a lot of Germans, regular scoop slams, body slams. I love doing a good power slam. I pop for a good power slam. I only really tune into Randy Orton matches just so I can watch that one power slam that he'll land every match. But starting out in Blow, I was more of a heel character, so I tend to fight a little bit more dirty. It's a little harder for me to fight like a fight like a baby, so I like the more the more dirty wrestling, dirty fighting,
Mm.
cheat to win sort of thing.
Like a scrapper, you would say, almost like a brawler.
Yeah, I would say I'm more of like a brawler with a lot of suplex based moves. And I
Who
talk a
would you say?
lot. I talk a lot of junk on when I'm in the ring.
It's always good to be like the trash talker, you know. Oh, sorry,
Mhm.
Gabe.
No, it's okay. I was gonna like any of your guests continue. That's all.
Oh, go on with your story. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you have any stories, go for it. The stage is yours.
Not quite yet. I mean, like you guys reached out to me at a very interesting time because I've been with Blow since about end of 2017, and we were doing the shows on the mats for like almost like a year after that, and then we finally had our first ring show in 2019, and we had some good momentum up until the pandemic happened. So that kind of cut our momentum short. But we were selling out the venues that we were hosting our shows at, and we saw that there was a demand for the type of wrestling we do, which is queer centric wrestling, and queer wrestlers telling their own stories. Um, yeah, so while I've been, strictly in blow since about 2017, I've been training a lot more at Belltime Club, and I'm gonna start working the indie circuit hopefully soon. And my first show is gonna be at UFO Wrestling this month, December 18th, at the Jingle Ball show. There's going to be a 20-man battle royale, and I'm going to be one of the 20 people. So those
Jingle
are the
Ball, is
nights.
that Z100?
Oh no, no, not
I was like, Jingle
Z100.
Ball.
I know, maybe we're gonna get our own C&D soon. Watch. No,
Yeah,
but
but then you guys could keep it. It's signed by the owner of Z100. Oh my god, Sheldon, sign frame that. That's interesting.
What was you gonna say? Who's your favorite opponent to work with?
my favorite opponent to work with. So right now, I've only really wrestled in blow. So my favorite wrestler, I guess, to work with now has been probably the Bradley's Babes. So they're a tag team, and their whole thing is that they're retail workers at the now defunct department store Bradley's. I don't know if you ever had a Bradley's out there, but
No, we don't.
that
I don't
was
think that's familiar, I
oh,
guess.
so yeah, that was a big department store back in in New England back in like the 80s and 90s, but it is no more. And the Bradley's Babes are a tag team that are kind of stuck. They're like a time capsule of characters, and they're kind of stuck working at the Bradleys in 1995. Um, so big hair, neon windbreakers,
Oh my god.
scrappy as hell. And they're just so fun. There was also a storyline where me and my tag team partner at the time, Chronic Pain, broke up the Bradley's Babes because we shattered the illusion that it was no longer 1995 and Bradley's is now out of business. And
We need
so
them on the podcast, Geek. Tell them about us, please.
oh, they are, yeah, they're a couple of my good friends, and like they are just a riot to hang out with. So I'm
Please tell them about
manifesting
us.
with that for you guys.
I don't
So
know if
yeah,
we
they're
saw,
my
I don't know
favorite.
if we got them on Instagram, but if they don't, we
Mhm.
have you in our corner.
I'll advocate for you guys.
Please. I could even send you our little spiel letter so they could read it, because it's funny because I told Alaska, my mom helped me a lot with this stuff, with the reading
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So she made like a letter. A nice geek says, "Oh, it looks like spam." Once you think it's spam, then you read it and you go, "Podcast." But it tells you what we're about, where we're from,
Mhm.
like asking where they're from, and then they'll come back and tell us, "I'm from the UK. I'm from GM something time zone." But yeah,
And at least you guys, your Instagram handle doesn't have like a bunch of random numbers, so it adds some legitimacy to it,
Yeah,
yeah.
as opposed to the other spam accounts that hit us up.
Yeah, because
yeah.
when we first became a podcast, we were gonna be the Ringside Dudes, and then something popped in my head, and I said, "Dudes at Ringside." I asked my dad, "Dudes at Ringside or Ringside Dudes?" He was like, "Dudes." Didn't my dad say Ringside Dudes, geek, or
What
was it?
dude? Yeah, the dude's at ringside, right?
My dad said Dudes at Ringside, and we flipped it, and Dudes at Ringside podcast was born.
Yeah.
I feel like that rolls off the tongue a little better. Maybe
Hmm.
even
And I add
ringside
the
dudes with
international known
attitudes.
part because we're known now in London, England.
Oh, now Spiffy wants us you to get
The babes.
the Bradley Babes on our podcast.
Yes.
There's an
I'll
advocate right
send them a
there.
fax. I'll send them a fax.
Yeah, send him a fax. You should send a tell him you're live. Send him what a beeper
Yeah, I'll page them right now.
and tell him go on Facebook. I'm live. That'll be funny. We're like, our computer won't load. Someone's on the phone.
It's 1985.
Like, how are we gonna Well, my fun question with her, I'm like, how are we supposed to talk to you when you have they don't have cameras on their computers in the 90s?
They're trying to keep it kayfabe.
They got to call in. God. Or they'll have like the fake the old music playing in the background. Geek, turn off the music. We're gonna get copyright striked. Like Twitch. That's the fun thing about having like a real interesting gimmick.
Mhm.
Like you have to really work it. Like there's a wrestler that we had on our podcast named Mother Endless. I don't know if you ever heard.
No,
Oh,
what's her
happy!
deal?
Happy Sunday, champ.
Hey, Brooks. Happy
David.
Sunday. Your
Hey,
tree
David
looks
Brooks.
amazing.
Thanks for the like, by the way. You just gave us a like in the corner. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
Please tell
Brooks.
you.
That's our referee right there.
Oh, we can
All
have
right.
you in the podcast. We've never really interviewed referees before.
Yeah.
Please, David, please share this on your Facebook so everybody can see your champion is on Dudes at Ringside, because I don't specify this the most. We are the home of champions.
Do you have the
Well,
belt with you, or
no, it's it's promotion
keep it?
policy. They got
Keep
Oh, okay. Well,
it.
oh, okay.
it has to stay at HQ. Um,
Because
but
sometimes wrestlers actually are able to take the belt home with them and say, "Yeah, I got the belt right here." So I'm like, it all depends on their promotion, though.
Yeah,
So
because we've heard some rough stories, not on here, like on with wrestlers in WWE. They lose the belt in the airport. They lose the belts on the road. Like,
at a Longhorn parking lot,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Jericho.
Oh,
yeah.
how do you lose a title that you're now is known all over the world? And that's not even like
Oh,
that
thank you
belt's
so
not
much,
even
by the
like.
way. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Love you,
Those,
Brooks.
yeah, like you
Make
could
sure you
buy those
follow up.
belts on any websites, and then they lose the belt in a parking lot. Like,
Not even a good steakhouse, too.
you gotta go to a good one. Like, what the hell? What the hell?
I forgot.
Crappy ass.
I think after Jericho lost that belt, I forgot who made fun of him. Somebody made fun of him. I think
The
I think it
world
was
was making fun of him.
Yes.
I think
Every
it was
champion is
I think
doing this. You're my baby. It's okay, baby. I'm never gonna lose you.
who was it? Moxley that made fun of him or something? I think
Moxley
no, I'm
isn't on
saying
the internet.
no. I mean, it was on. It was who Jericho was feuding at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They cut a promo and said, "Yeah, I'll just leave my belt at Longhorn Steakhouse." Or something.
Like, how do you lose a title belt? Oh, wait. Like, he didn't lose the belt in a match. He lost it to a parking lot.
No, he
Parking
lost
lot.
it to he lost it to a steakhouse, I guess.
Yeah. Steakhouse 1, Jericho 0. Like, the steak was raw, but they got your belt.
I think we all learned that day that Jericho is not tougher than a $2 steak.
And also, that person didn't get a tip. They got a belt.
There you go. And what's
No,
a
I
higher
think they
honor
gave
than
I think they gave the belt back now. So
You just killed my joke, geek. See, heel. He's such a heel. He stole my joke.
the heel of the
Ran-
podcast right there.
This is how he roll here, dudes at ringside. I'm bidding I was all face because I'm like, oh my god, the girls like me. I'm such a good guy. Don't be mean to me. I'm good Joe. Now I'm like face heel. I'm a face heel. Like it's half face, half heel. Like I'm tween. I hate saying tween. It sounds so bad. It sounds so stupid. I just say I'm face heel, like half face, half heel. Sometimes I go more heel
Okay, Joe.
than face.
Okay, we get it. We get it.
Okay. So have you ever created yourself in any of the 2K games?
No, you know something? I'm actually pretty behind in my video game consoles. I'm like a couple like generations behind on the PlayStation. I've only really kept up with the Nintendo Switch.
That was still fun. I think they have the SmackDown game on the Switch, don't they, Gig?
What's up?
How do you know? Like, do they?
No,
Don't they have? In the comments? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I said they probably have them on the Switch. Yeah.
I'm behind my video games too, so
I laugh at him all the time. I laugh at him all the time because I'm like, we were in college. Geek always had the same system as me. I had a PlayStation 2. Geek had the PlayStation 2. I got a PlayStation 3. Geek got the PlayStation 3. Now I got PlayStation 4. Geek ain't got PlayStation 4. I'm like,
I'm
how
behind
are
my
we
video
supposed
games
to
instead.
play? Because me and Geek were like, we always played our matches in the the WWE SmackDown game at the time. Were like, if there was like stars, it would be like in Japan, it would be 11 stars. Our matches were epic. Oh, we'd break
Dave
both
Meltzer,
announce tables.
Dave Meltzer would be like 11 stars.
Is that the original SmackDown game for PS1? Because I had that, and I like every time after I would come home from school, I would play that.
Oh, I used to love that one. But the one thing that I look at it now and I go, oh, this game so bad. Like you didn't come out to the ring; it was just the Titantron in the background, and the wrestler was walking to the Titan.
Yeah, or like you can choose what style of wrestler they can come out as.
Yeah.
I always pick the China.
Me and my other friend that he's not in the chat right now. We used to always make fun of the first games. Like they used to have the little bubbles. And it used to say, "I wonder what they're talking about."
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder what
you
they're
know what was
talking
really
about.
bad? You know what game was really bad though? Warzone. That was the first.
Oh yeah, the game was horrible.
It was so blocky.
Yeah.
And
There
like
was
the
a
audio
glitch.
clips
I
were
don't
so
know.
bad.
I'm sorry. I don't know if there was a glitch. One of the games that my friend said he had, but I kind of didn't believe him. That he had every time he was Owen Hart, and he would go off the top rope. Owen Hart would fall off the top rope, and I'm like,
yeah. It's like that's not what I was trying to get you to do. I hit the right buttons, but it just
and the game would freeze.
Yeah.
And he would stop it, and he's like, I'm like, are you making a bad joke? And I'm like, no. Oh, he's like, oh no, I love Owen Hart. In a game, he would go off the top rope and he would fall and hit his head, and the game would freeze. And I'm like, that's horrible. Yeah. Video games.
Yeah, that one could stay in the vault forever. That one is trash.
My favorite game was probably Resident Evil 4.
Oh, you know what? I haven't played a lot of the Resident Evils, but I am fresh off watching a complete playthrough of 7, and I'm in the middle of Village right now, so those are good ones.
Is Village any good or?
Village is creepy. I wouldn't say it's as creepy as a 7, but you know you can't get much creepier than Bayou family infected by mold.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Sounds like Resident Evil in a different universe. Instead of having zombies, it's mold.
I remember those monsters that were created in the laboratory Resident Evil 4. Those used to freak me out.
Yeah, I'm such a baby when it comes to horror games, though. So
it's sort of like a horror game. Ghostbusters, the video game, that one's creepy. They made it because it came out in 2009, and then they didn't reboot it, but they brought it back. And the graphics that they have now, and they brightened it up. And the first time I played Ghostbusters, the video game, I didn't realize it, but I stayed up till 2:00 in the morning. I was just like playing, and why is there light? I see light. Why do I see freaking light? And then I was like,
oh, that was me for Last of Us.
Yeah. It was you for Last of Us.
Last of Us.
That's how you know it's a good game.
Yeah.
That game, Last of Us, was awesome.
It was hilarious.
The mod in the chat. She's like, "Are you done with the game? I'm waiting for the credits to be rolled. Are they done yet? No."
Why? You think there's an extra scene or something, or extra game?
I thought there was going to be an extra scene after the credits in Last of Us, and they kept going and going and going.
It's always that one game that you're like, it's going to be more. It's going to be more. Like a Marvel movie, there's something coming. I know there's something coming. But yeah, the Ghostbusters game's fun.
And then I was disappointed. I'm like, that's it? I beat the whole game?
You stayed up till 2 a.m. for this?
And you watched all the credits?
But it's funny with me, with the Ghostbusters game, I saved it, and I was sitting, like, you can't see it, there's like a wood shelf here next to me. And I had my chair here, and I pushed the PS button, I'm like, and I saved it, and I tippy-toed to my bed like my parents were sleeping around the corner. And I'm just like, I got into bed. I'm like, what the fuck did I just do that for? I'm in the basement of my house. My parents are upstairs, and they can't hear a thing because I had the game so low, so they couldn't hear any of the blasters, any of the screams, any of the booms, anything. It was sort of sad. I'm a dumbass. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking?
Who would you say your favorite wrestlers are growing up?
My favorite wrestlers growing up. Like I said before, Stone Cold Steve Austin has to be up there. China is up there for sure. Owen Hart. Um, I think Owen Hart was definitely my favorite out of the Hart family. Let's see who else. I'm into a lot of the wrestlers like going on right now. I look to a lot of wrestlers going on right now that I want to sort of emulate, like that energy, that charisma. Um, I want to say like the wrestlers who I saw and I was like, you know what, I want to pursue this. Was probably Sami Zayn and Kevin Steen. I saw a lot of their pre WWE stuff, and I was like,
Definitely.
this is a lot different than like because I grew up watching WWE, but then I saw the other promotions that they worked at, and I was like, I can't get this on WWE. You're telling me I could do this and like as well, and yeah, I love the whole the Kevin versus El Generico carried on to the feud that they had a couple years ago. That I think that's probably one of my favorite storylines, favorite feuds.
I was actually at the show when they faced the American Wolves in the ladder match.
Yeah, that must have been
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that was the one. That was the one where Eddie Edwards
Mhm.
had the
Eddie
sling,
Edwards. Hmm.
and he had the sling in his arm, and he was still climbing up the ladder, and he went from being a heel in that match to when he came out, total babyface, just because he had the sling, and everyone was like, "Let's go,
Oh
Eddie!"
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they were cheering for him.
Geek and I were at
So
the show when the lights went out and the young and
the heart.
Matt Hardy and Jeff were on the screen when the Young Bucks retained the
It
tag
wasn't. No,
titles.
Jeff wasn't there though.
We were just Matt. Matt Hardy was on the screen in New York City, and the lights went out, and I'm stupid. I yelled, "Who touched my ass?"
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh
If
my
only
god!"
Joe, if only we were there in the show in February when they actually made their appearance there.
Yeah, we didn't go to that show for some odd reason. We didn't go to that one.
I was like, damn it, they made an appearance, right?
At least we were there when they appeared for the first time on the screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We have the
The
video proof. It's on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
It's on
yeah.
Facebook.
You can't take that away from you.
No, unless
That
Facebook changes their name
even
and
though it was
changes everything.
they were on the screen, that pop was ridiculous.
Oh my god, it was so loud. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa. And this is a tiny arena. This is a tiny arena.
Hammerstein Ballroom, legendary arena in New York. Always great to see a show there.
That's where Monday Night Raw was born.
No, Manhattan Center downstairs.
Oh, same building, like just different.
The same building, but it's downstairs.
I'm actually going to be checking out the GCW show at that they're having at Hammerstein next month. Yeah. I'm excited for that one.
That's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go, but I don't know if I'm busy. You know what I mean? I would love to go. Like everything going on, like my mom's kind of frantic to let me go to like big shows and stuff like that. But
speaking of GCW, they should have another Matt Cardona pop vinyl. They should have a GCW version of him.
I have his WWE one.
They need to have the deathmatch God variant.
Yeah.
A friend got me this one for my birthday. It was a one of a kind New York Comic Con one, and I'm like, because he got me a mask with a Rey Mysterio thing on it, and I was like, "Oh, dude, thanks." And then I took the Zach out of the box and I went, I was like, "Okay."
I wonder if Zach would ever consider that.
He may. You never know. He collects. He's a big collector, Matt. Matt.
It's part of his. Yeah. It's part of his life, right there. That's part of his career.
Yeah.
Right. As Zack Ryder with the glass sticking out of his back and everything. You know?
With the belt around his waist, of course. He never had a big championship in WWE, so anytime he had it was IC or tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pokes fun at his time at WWE. He's a good sport about it.
Woo, I'm dead or whatever he says.
Yeah.
He's the woo deathmatch guy now. and it works for him because think about it this way. When people go see deathmatch wrestling, they don't want to go and see Zack Ryder.
Yeah, they weren't thinking like, oh, Matt Cardona, of course.
He get food out of the building, man. Those fans are like rabid.
Nuclear heat. Oh my gosh.
Oh God, they put their middle finger in his face. I'm like, dude, put that finger down. Go eat a slice of pizza with that finger. Like, jeez.
He probably loved it too. He probably when he won the belt and they were booing the crap out of him.
And they kept tossing everything in the ring.
He probably loved it. They loved.
Have you ever had a fan like that? Fans like that with you being champion?
No, the thing is, I haven't had like a heat like that, but the heat I've got, it's kind of interesting. Like, it's mostly the people who are, hardcore diehard, like Bradley's Babes fans that are like, you broke them up. Like, how could you do this to them? Blah, blah, blah. Or, the person I beat for the Beast title, Meathead Marla, like she has the meat locker. Those are her fans. And so the faithful fans to the people that I have a match against, they're obviously going to go for their favorite over me because obviously I'm sitting here being a jerk and trash talking them on the other side, but nothing too crazy like getting stuff thrown at me. I'm actually not quite sure what I would do if that were ever to happen to me. Probably throw it back.
Yeah, take your stuff back.
Yeah.
If it's merch, you'd be like, hey, you paid like blah, blah, blah for this. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like free shirt for me.
Thank you. Add to my collection. That's what I would have said. Oh, new shirt for my collection. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, thanks for buying this shirt for me. That's really sweet of you.
That's $20 that somebody else just got. No. You can kick it back.
Yeah, my old gimmick as Old Valentine, she was, the demonatrix. So I was a really mean, like sort of dominatrix. I would come to the ring with like riding crops, floggers. I would bring those out from under the ring and use those during a match. But yeah, Val in Blow has been going through some sort of, character change in that our last sort of virtual show, I went into the woods. I was confronted with some weird spiritual entity. And I was like, you know what? I love everyone in Blow so goddamn much. And I am now your judge, jury, and executioner now. And I do everything out of the love for you guys. So you better show respect for that. So I kind of took it upon myself to become the new god of Blow, basically. And that's where Saint Valentine comes in. So that's my new sort of Blow angle right now. For my indie, when I start working the indie circuit, my wife kind of helped me come up with this, but I'm actually a big fan of new metal, like unironically. So my new for my indie gimmick now is the new thing. Kind of chalking up to the fact that Bell Time Club is very much prides itself on being, they teach the traditional way of wrestling. They have a very historical and, very esteemed lineage of, being taught by Killer Kowalski. So, I'm coming up here as the new thing. I'm here to shake up the tradition, and you guys are going to love it.
Well, what would be the biggest thing you said Killer Kowalski taught you?
Oh, so Killer Kowalski didn't teach me personally. He taught my trainer, and my trainer passed it down to me. But, the main thing I'm really trying to, get into my brain is, keep it simple as much as possible. Simple is effective. You can do all the fancy stuff, but, but what looks clean is keeping it simple. Keeping it simple, keeping it, still keep yourself looking tough. That's what yeah.
What would you say your opinion on intergender wrestling is?
Bring it on. I'll
yeah.
wrestle. I'll wrestle anyone who wants to wrestle me. That's where I'm at this point. I don't care if it's like another woman, another like a dude, or like non-binary wrestlers. Like I'm up for whatever.
Who would
We've
you who's a man you would love to face in the future? You'd say
I don't know.
be anybody.
Oh my gosh. So
Could be anybody.
many. Could be anybody.
It could be anybody. It could be a dream opponent. It could be like anybody.
Anybody. I'm really I think it'd be really cool to wrestle Ricky Shane Page. I know he does a lot of Beyond shows right now, and I also watch a lot of deathmatch wrestling. I'm actually really into deathmatch wrestling, and I watch a lot of Ricky Shane Page, a lot of Nick Gage. I think it'd be really cool to be on the same card as RSP sometime.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
yeah, he would.
Let me get a question in, Lance.
Sorry.
I was like, is there like, if a promoter came up to you and said, we want you to do like a hardcore match tonight, and it's gonna be brutal, would you like be down or like?
I would first ask like, well, how brutal are we talking? There might be some items that I might forego, but I mean, I have done a hardcore show before. In Blow, I wrestled against Rat King for the trash belt, and we use the trash cans. There was a spot where I poured mouse traps all over the floor and suplexed him onto that. So yeah, things like that. I would take a light tube. Admittedly, I would take a light tube. Barbed wire, I would probably have to dip my feet in. I have no problem like taking a chair, taking a table. Once we get to the sharps, I might be like, how do I navigate this?
Yeah.
Speaking of mouse traps, actually, one of our fellow wrestlers that we had on our podcast, he actually had a spot where he put mouse traps on a table, and he suplexed somebody on the mouse traps through the table. So
double slam, ow. Like,
right there.
what is your thing? Thumbtacks or Legos?
Oh my god, I almost feel like the Legos are like just a slightly more brutal. I think we did. No, we didn't do thumbtacks. No, yeah, it was just the mouse traps. But I think I would take Legos before I would take the tacks. Actually, yeah. I know there are some wrestlers down in Rhode Island who bring out the Legos from time to time.
Do you have any stories from the ring, or?
I feel like I'm still so I'm still pretty new to this industry. I feel like even though I've been with Blow since 2017, Blow is kind of its own contained thing. So I haven't really done a lot of miles quite yet. But hopefully in the new year, I'll be getting more of that. I just need to rip this Band-Aid off for this Battle Royale, on the 18th.
Do you collect anything?
Oh yeah, I have quite a few figures. I collect a lot of figures, like mostly like anime figures. A lot of alien stuff, like xenomorphs. I'm really into Alien.
Definitely. Are you excited about the new series?
Hang on, new Aliens. Is it a new movie or a?
No, it's gonna be on Hulu.
It's gonna be on Hulu. Oh my god, I didn't know about this. I'm so fake.
Really? Me neither. Breaking news, geek.
You didn't know about it? It was on the Disney announced it that they're going to be doing an Alien series.
You know what? I did hear about it because now that you say Disney, I was like, oh, like that makes sense because a friend of mine did bring it up that Disney, like probably a while ago, but like things have happened since then that I kind of forgot about it. But yeah, it's interesting that Disney got a hold of it because I'm wondering how they run with it.
Now
no, not
the
Disney.
Alien is
I said it's FX on Hulu, whatever it is. They're gonna but now they own FX. They could do it. So it's so Disney announced that coming soon they're going to be doing Alien series on FX on Hulu. I don't know when it's coming out. but it's
I'm definitely going to be interested in checking that out. Just to see if it's worth. But yeah, I'm a mark for Alien.
I'm used to it by now, brother.
But yeah, I guess now the xenomorph can be a Disney princess. There you go.
The Disney princess we deserve.
Yeah, I said that. I was like, did you hear me? I said, now she's a princess.
now
creepy looking princess.
Is it Alien Princess? There you go.
Creepiest princess ever. Don't want to cross her. You'll get acidy spit to the face. You see her dress? Can you see it in your head now? Like she's wearing like a flowing like blue dress, all ripped up, like and the hands
just covered in blood, like all the eggs, like in her wake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has the crown, the tiara.
She's so beautiful.
Imagine that. Oh my god, I'm picturing it right now. Her like the ripped up dress, her hands all like that, and that little blonde wig. Little crown. All the other princesses are running away.
I know.
There's
a shot of her just crying.
Yeah. she won but lost. You lost, but you won because the crowns are all around your feet. Or here we go. She ate all the other princesses. All the crowns are just safe on the ground, and she's just like, I win.
I guess this is my kingdom now?
Yeah, this is mine. All the princes are like,
well, everyone's dead. I guess I better go hatch some eggs.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't need any of the princes. All the princes are just like, and they walk away because they can't.
Like, I'm not touching that.
Nope. I'd rather be celibate. She's an alien. She'll eat me. You know what's funny? I'm surprised they didn't. Any of these channels didn't pick up that other Alien series. It's like she's a woman, but then she's an alien. They made her like what's that series? It was from the late 2000s. Her character, the alien, when she was human form, she was like a blonde. What is that one? Oh my god! They used to show it all the time on WB. I can't think of it. It was a creepy movie. It was like an alien chick, and she was like, she found.
Remember?
What was that?
Species?
Remember Kyle XY? See, that's what I thought it was, but I thought Species was a movie in the 90s.
There was a movie that I remember. Yeah. So many movies. It's funny we talk about movies, but me and Geek actually have an adventure we're doing on Tuesday, a movie podcast.
Oh, what movie?
We're talking about new movies that just came out. We're bringing up Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is a good movie. It's so good. If you have time to go to the movies, go see Ghostbusters Afterlife. Keep it at number one. Like, don't need Clifford as number one.
We gotta make Tiger King number one on Netflix, Joe.
Ugh. I told my dad about that. He's like, another one?
Right. I felt like they've told all the story they need to tell.
Yeah, I'm like, everybody knows about the girl with one arm. What are they going to talk about now? His time in jail?
They have a Doc Antle spin-off series, and then they have Tiger King 2.
And one of the members of that show died recently, right?
Which one?
I don't remember. God, that show was so much. Hang on.
Who died? Who died?
Who died in 2021? Eric Cowie. He was the zookeeper.
Oh, the zookeeper died?
Yeah.
He died?
He died this year.
Wow, I did not know that.
Geek knows all about that show. He's obsessed with that show.
I love that show, and I did not even know that.
Yeah, I think it was like relatively recently. So, I had to Google Tiger King died 2021. Yeah, it was like a couple months ago, I think. What happened to him?
Don't you hate when you get a message on Instagram and it's not in your thing? Because my phone now goes to gallery, and it totally makes me mad because I can't find who's messaging me. So I have to play the "Who's messaging me" game. Got anything else, Geek?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank. Do you have any upcoming shows or?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the UFO show coming up December 18th. I believe that's a Saturday. I think will be at 5. You can hit up UFO Wrestling on Facebook for more information on where to get tickets. It'll be at the Iron Workers Union building. Tickets, I believe, are $10.
Not bad.
So if you're based out in Boston, go check it out. I'll be making my debut, the new thing.
Geek, if you were able to go to Boston, you and the mod should go to Boston and hang out and drop a sticker.
I know we could have done a trade.
Yeah. Well, we still can. We still can.
Hopefully, you can come out East Coast. East
like the New York based.
Yeah.
New York based. Yeah.
I've been meaning to check out some New York shows. So
you could just write it down when we're done. When we're done live, you could always stay in the chat. When we're done, we could keep talking, and we could help you write down the name of the promotions that you need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Okay.
Do you guys like new metal?
Yeah, I love new metal. New Bells. I love Korn, Limp Bizkit, all those bands.
A man of taste.
Right.
I'm a fan of Linkin Park. I'm a fan of Metallica. I'm a fan of Korn. Like I grew up on Long Island, and like my friend got me into like older metal, like Manson, Tool.
I'm on a Rammstein kick right now.
Rammstein's great. Rammstein's great.
I obsessively sang Du Hast Mace. My mom said, "Do you know what they're saying?" I'm like, "You hate me." I'm like, "That's what he's saying."
It's a homophone.
Yeah. What's that?
It's a homophone. So you could also have been like, "No, you have."
Yeah.
I'm saying how you have.
Yeah. And then the other band that I was obsessed with, and I'm not as bad as I was before. Seven. I was Seven Dust.
Seven Dust. Yeah.
I was obsessed with that band. I would play.
Seven Dust is great.
I would play Seven Dust.
That band's great live.
Like I feel like a horrible fan. I've never seen Seven Dust live. I'm like, I asked my sister, "Can we get tickets for Seven Dust?" Okay, I'll look it up.
What is wrong with you, Joe?
I know.
I've yet to see Slipknot live, so
I heard they're fantastic live.
I know. I would like to see that for myself.
Do you know before our mod's head explodes?
You know who's surprisingly great live?
Who?
Fozzy.
Really? Yeah, because it just looks like Chris Jericho's having so much fun, and if you're having that much fun on stage, then everyone else is gonna.
He's
have
awesome
fun, right?
live. He's awesome. His guitarist is amazing, by the way. So.
Nice.
Yeah, but he puts on a great show, Jericho.
Performer at heart, Chris Jericho.
He is a performer at heart. Like there's nothing that guy can't do. He could wrestle. He could bang his head. He could do a lot. Big ups to him.
And he's still going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do have pets. Yeah, I have my dog. She's 14. She's a Maltese. She's she's walking around over there. She's probably with my wife right now. But yeah, no, I have one Maltese. She is 6 pounds. She's 14 years old. She's missing most of her teeth, and she's the best dog on the planet.
Aww. It's always good to have I used to have 2 wiener dogs. One we had to put to sleep because she had a brain tumor, and it was really sad. She got really bad, started having seizures. She was our sunshine of the house. Like you could be a complete stranger and come to the door, and she'll be like, "Friend, came to hang out? What's up, buddy?"
Sophie's like that. Yeah. What was her name?
Her name was Honey.
Honey.
Oh, she was a most. She'll be sitting on the couch, and she'll go before she had a brain tumor. She'll go, "Ooh, ooh," and she's like, She wants you to pick her up, and she'll sit on the couch and just stare at you like.
Sophie's the same way, or I'll walk over and she'll just like show her belly.
So, where could people find your promotion?
We have blow.org, bloww.org. That's our website. There's our Instagram at bloww_Boston. You can keep up with us there. And if you go on our website, you can sign up for the newsletter. We are recruiting. So if you feel like you can hang with us, feel free to sign up for the newsletter, kind of throw your hat in the ring. Who knows? Maybe you can have a title shot at my Beast Belt.
Oh, boy.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, by the way. And
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
We'll definitely get in contact with you for next year. We'll have you back.
Yeah, we'll see how the year treated me.
Yeah, we'll have more stories.
yeah, honestly. Sorry I didn't have any for you
It's
today.
okay. And we talked about random stuff. We didn't even talk about food.
That's okay.
We'll talk about food next time.
Yeah.
It's good to have you. And
thank you.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Later.
See you later.
That was a fun interview, right, Joe?
Yeah. Yep. Actually, fans, we will see you on Monday for Larry Legend. Happy, once again, War Games night.